Tetris Effect Connected has just announced the details about a beta test version for the next release of the game, which is available on multiple platforms and contains a couple big new features I'll be going over in this video that I was able to try out in an early preview with some of the best Tetris players in the world. So here's what's exciting about the beta. Since launch, Tetris Effect Connected has previously only been available on the Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, or on PCs through the Microsoft Store. But the beta, which is running from June 23rd to July 5th, will be a free download for not just anyone who already has Tetris Effect Connected, but also anyone who has the original Tetris Effect through Epic Games or the PlayStation 4. So this will finally be the first time that it's available on those platforms. It's also going to be released on Steam for the first time as well. More details can be found on the website. So the big flagship feature being rolled out in the beta is the addition of private rooms and full cross-platform play. Once a host creates a room code, up to 8 people can use it to join a lobby, where everyone can sort themselves into players or spectators. Once 2 players confirm they'd like to play, the game starts, and then everyone else can join in as spectators and watch along, with the choice of 4 different cheer emotes to post on screen during matches. The nice thing about this is that it not only allows groups of people playing with each other to all stay connected and follow along with the action even when they're not currently in a game, it also allows people to play with each other cross-platform. Previously, you had to be friends with somebody on the same platform in order to send them an invite to play a match, but now with the room codes, you can send an invite to anyone. It gave me the ability to easily connect with groups of other beta testers and try out some of the new features within the game modes themselves. For instance, Classic Score Attack is getting a big upgrade. It used to be based just on the NTSC version of NES Tetris, which is used in the Classic Tetris World Championships. But now there's an option to choose PAL NES Tetris, which is used in the Classic Tetris European Championships. On the surface, the two games look exactly the same, so what's the difference? Well, NTSC and PAL refer to TV color frame rate standards from different parts of the world. NTSC is approximately 60 frames per second, while PAL is approximately 50 frames per second. NES Tetris was originally designed for NTSC, and when it was brought over to PAL, the frame rate difference required changing the speeds of the side-to-side piece movement and the levels, making them a little bit faster. Thus, PAL games require a bit of a different strategy with more aggression and risk because you have fewer lines to score points on before the levels start to get really difficult. The NTSC speed maxes out and becomes almost impossible at level 29, whereas on PAL, a nearly equivalent speed is reached all the way back on level 19. So if you play PAL NES Tetris, or you're an NTSC player that has wanted to try out PAL to see what it's like, there's now another way you can do so. I joined a private room with 7 other prominent players in the PAL Tetris community to test out some PAL matches, and everything for them felt accurate, with matches comfortably able to go all the way to level 19. Then, Mark Myra Marcos did some matches starting on level 19, which is only playable for pretty much the best players in the world. But these guys are some of the best players in the world, and they didn't waste any time showing off what they can do.
Textbook play, let's go.
Perfect clear!
Are you kidding me?
GG's.
I'll do a Tetris here.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Tetris!
Yes!
Afterwards, the group also played some games of Secret Grade, where the goal is to create a diagonal row of holes traveling across the board. This is incredibly difficult with Classic Score Attack's random piece RNG.
Oh, for this. Oh no! Oh!
Another big addition is a slow mode for Zone Battle. As a refresher, this mode is based on the zone feature in Tetris Effect, where you can stop time to clear as many lines as possible for bonus points until you reach the top or your zone meter runs out. Within Zone Battle, you can send extra big attacks of garbage lines to your opponent through the zone, depending on how big your zone charge was, how many lines you clear, and how many additional tricks such as T-spins or Tetris line clears you perform while in the zone. To find out about the slow mode, I reached out to Kibibite, one of the top players in Tetris Effect, who is also part of the early testing group. He's achieved a Curbtris, which is a 21-line zone clear in all 27 levels of the original Tetris Effect journey mode, and even uploaded a comprehensive YouTube tutorial on how to get Curbtrises. So how do you approach practicing Zone Battle?
When I want to practice new techniques without finding another player, using the AI is a helpful tool. You have a lot of control over how powerful it is, including its level, which goes from 1 to 10, and handicap settings. Since I'm proficient at Zone Battle, I usually practice against a level 10 AI with a buff of +1. This puts me and the AI on about the same level for close games, like in this clip where my 21-line Curbtris was about the same attack power as the AI's 19-line Perfectris. There we go. Take that, CPU. And it's barely affected.
In that clip, Kibby is actually already playing in the slow mode. So what is different about the slow mode in Zone Battle?
Unsurprisingly, the slow mode makes the game play slower. The most noticeable difference is the increased entry delay, which is the time after one Tetramino locks into place and the next one enters the field.
So how does it end up affecting strategy when you're actually battling?
The overall slower game speed makes the game more tactical. You have more time to think even when playing at your top speed, so each individual piece placement carries greater weight, which I think puts an emphasis on efficiency. For example, letting a T Tetramino go to waste instead of using it for a T-spin double feels more impactful. It also causes mistakes to be even more deadly, since you'll have less time to clean up your stack.
This is something that surprised me because I would have assumed based off a name like slow mode that it would have made the game easier. But in fact, in certain situations, it can actually make the game harder. When I tried it out, I realized that the delay before I would get the next piece meant that I couldn't just spam pieces to the side as fast as possible when waiting for a specific piece. I had to use what was given to me or else I would run out of time to counterattack.
Yeah, I realized you really have to get like a sense of the timing down.
I was playing against Beast and Shen from World Puzzle League in that game, so I would have been outmatched regardless, but for two higher level players, the slow mode basically acts as a natural speed limit to the game, ensuring that after a certain point, one player can't overpower the other with pure speed alone. Afterwards, I joined up with some other top zone players to hang out in a private room for some games in the connected modes. In the rooms on these modes, since you have 3 or 4 players going at once, the number of spectators is limited to 4 or 5, but you can still have the same amount of up to 8 people participating. I was a spectator for this game featuring Kibby Bite, Kirby 703, and Light Rod versus the Zodiac bosses. And incredibly, on the very first stage, this happened.
I can get 20 actually.
I'm ready for 20. I can get 20. Can we? Can we? Yeah!
Nice.
That was incredible. So how difficult is it to score an Ultimatris in connected mode, and what makes it difficult?
Making a 20-line Ultimatris happen in connected mode is so rare, I've only seen it happen twice. Clearing an Ultimatris in single player is already challenging, but the fact that you need to synchronize with a team of 3 amplifies that difficulty. In single player, the zone ends when you make an invalid placement, but in connected, it's different. After one player makes an invalid placement, the 2 other players get one last Tetramino to place before the zone ends. This means each player has to be ready to place the Tetramino that fills in their part of the 20th row, one after the other.
Along with all these changes, there will be additional tweaks and improvements based on the results of the beta. One of the biggest things I'm looking forward to is seeing how streamers are going to be able to utilize private rooms. It's now going to be super easy to instantly play matches with viewers on stream, and even host King of the Hill style events and give commentary as a host on matches between audience members. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the beta when it comes out.